Hello everybody. It's been a while since we've worked on anything together. So, let's do that. Today we'll be doing a little bit of work on this 1981 X19 originally by Fiat, but this one's an early Bertone car when they took over production. Alright, what you see is we have not much in the way of light in the dash. We got a couple bulbs out. Plus, there it goes. A couple bulbs are out, and the ones that are there aren't very bright. So, what we're gonna do is replace them. We're gonna take this gauge cluster out and change the bulbs. And that means first thing we do is, which I did already, sitting right there for now. Because if you're anything more than 5'4", it helps to just keep it out of the way. The next thing we're going to do is remove the steering wheel, which is quite simple in these cars. You pull off the button cover, get yourself a socket, or in my case I'm going to use this adjustable wrench because I've been messing with some electronics, so I've got this down a little bit. And you'll just standard, righty tighty, lefty loosey. You'll have to take my word for it. I can't loosen this up with holding the phone because you actually have to hold the steering wheel with one hand and tweak this off. So, and there she is. Now there she is. And now next thing would be to open the engine compartment and disconnect the speedometer cable. So we just go right down here, grab the, get that, and that's right, I need light. Alright, now that we have light, if you look down there, see now you know while I've done this, I've had the speedo cable off before I put a brand new one in. Reach down here and it's right there, screws right into the screws right into the transaxle. Unscrew it, you pull it out, and then pull it up, and you gotta feed this bad boy down. Feed a bunch of it down. So, yeah, it's about good. Right, we're just getting to that, the bell housing. And then, come over here, and we're going to jack the car up, because this car at least still has good clips for the speedo cable. Now, I do have the parking brake set. I have a block of wood under the front right wheel, or in front of the front right wheel, to help keep it from sliding. And I believe the car's in gear. Yeah, car's in gear. And not everyone will have to jack this up. I'm a little bit of a fat ass, so it makes life easier. Doesn't need to get the tires all the way off the ground. Just need enough space to. If you, there it is. See, there's our slack. It goes through each of these clips. And this one's nice and stiff, so you can only really do the slack from there to there, then there to there, and there to there. And then, yeah, we'll catch up with that. And there she is, pulled all the way up from the back. So now all our slack's moved up to the front of the car. Now, get to take the gauge cluster out. Woo! Alright. Now, you need 1, 2, 3, there's 4 and 5 Allen head screws that will come out. And the top 3 are long, the bottom 2 are short. I will show you that in a second. And there they are. That's one of the top screws. That's one of the bottom screws. That way you know. Hard to get them mixed up, especially when there's only 3 and 2. But even still, that's just, you know, it's because the top part of the gauge cluster and the bottom part of the gauge cluster are different thicknesses. So, ta-da! Alright, let's get the other 3 out. Yay, all 5 screws are out. But before you start fiddle-faddling with this and trying to get it pulled out, you need to do one more thing. You need to climb yourself down here onto the dashboard. Back in here. You see that right there? That's a speedo cable. Now, you won't see me doing it because, you know, tightness and everything. You gotta grab that and try pulling their slack up from under the car. It can be difficult, but just work with it and you'll be alright. Yay, there's all my slack. And you need that because how tight it is under the dash. Now the way I've been able to do this is grab your trip reset, give it a bit of a wiggle, and the dash will start to come. And then it'll go so far where you can actually grab a piece. Now it's going to be stiff because the speedo cable still goes through the firewall, up, through another hole, around, and through another hole to behind the dash, through the bodywork. But they're all covered with covers and buried. If you just work in a little bit, you can get, ta-da, get it to come out. Now this one here, the old style is a screw fitting. This one here is a lock. If I, let me see if I can do it like this. Ooh, it's like a slide collar. Ignore that. Let's see how, focus. That grips around the threads, and then you slide this down into place and locks in. And then undo it by moving it up, and it unlocks. Originally this had a 2-piece speedo cable, but what, Midwest Bayless I think is the people we ordered this from. It's a 1-piece jammy, and then you have 3 plugs here, 1, 2, 3. You undo them, and they're just a pull. Let's see. It's cold out today, so they're going to be a little stiff. Okay, there you go. And as you can see, the 3 plugs, you got 2 whites and a red. One white has 6 prongs, one white has 8 prongs. So you can't get the 3 plugs mixed up. They're really simple. And now, let's see. So what we're going to do is today, we're just taking care of the 4 main light bulbs, which is this one here. This one is the one that does the temperature gauge. Nope, I'm sorry. That's for the alternator. And then this one is part of the temp gauge and part of the speedometer. This one is the other side of the speedometer. And then this one here is for the tach. Now you say, but you know, some of them were working, why are you changing them? Well, it's because we are replacing them with these LED equivalent lights. So they should, in theory, be, well, not only just work compared to the ones that didn't work, but we should now have more light and be less of a draw on the system. And anyone with an older car could tell you, you always worry about chasing down where drains are, because they always seem to pop up the most inopportune time. So the less current you can pull from the system, the less you have to worry. So we're going to put these bad boys in and see how it works. Simple, simple, simple. And just like the ones that came out, it's just simple twist to put in. Do a little quarter turn counterclockwise, gets them out. And once you get the little tabs lined up, quarter turn, they lock into place. All the rest of the lights seem to have worked. This is actually a not the original, at least, gauge cluster. This one was sourced from a different car. The original car cluster had the tachometer that actually started over here and spun backwards, and a speedometer that only went up to 80 miles per hour. So, and with the shorter tires, it spent a lot of time really high, and we were worried about that. So, we got this gauge cluster. We had the odometer professionally brought up to where the old odometer was on the car, so the mileage didn't change. And then the only difference thing was the one light here that says slow down. Originally on the other car was for the O2 sensor light. So now that would be for that. But all the rest of the positions were the same. Turn signals, lights, gauges. So that's the only differences. So let's put this back in, and I'm going to skip over the whole putting together thing because it's literally just the opposite of what we did to take it apart. Only difference being is sometimes when you go, after you get all the slack brought to the back of the car and go work with the speedometer cable in there, going to screw it back in, I have on occasion with these cars had to jack the back of the car in the air, get the car in second gear, start it, and let it run in gear, just so you can get the cable to go back properly in the hole. So, other than that, all right. See you when I'm done putting this all back together. You know what? This is the part where I kick myself in the butt because I made a mistake. There is one difference being when you go to put this back in, it's a two-handed job. Keep one hand up here with this, moving around a little bit, and one hand's going to be down here, pulling on slack, pulling the slack from up here. Because if you don't pull the slack as you push this in, the speedo cable can get kinked back in here, and it's a bloody racket. So, there is one difference in putting it back together. Okay. All right. Well, I let the steering wheel off. I actually don't have it all the way back together yet because I wanted to test it first. And now, looks like I have light on part of the speedo. I'm losing light here now for some reason. I still have a dead spot here. So, but what light there is, it is much, much brighter. So, luckily I checked this first. Let me try to check this and fix it. Yay! All I had to do was pull the gauge cluster back out. I just took the two bulbs, one that was here, one that was there, popped them out, spun them 180 degrees, put them back in. So, yes, I'm very happy. I mean, now I'm stuck out at night with this thing. I'll actually be able to see speed and tack. Cool. All right. Well, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching again. I know my speech can be a bit Daffy Duck slur-like, but it's all right. As long as you can understand and you had fun, that's all that's important. Have yourself a wonderful day. Till next time.